Good evening and welcome to the induction ceremony online for the 2018 Slippery Rock University Media Hall of Fame. Tonight, we reveal all the inductees for this year's Media Hall of Fame. And for those of you who don't know much about the Media Hall of Fame, let me give you a little background. About 6 years ago, we had a 50th anniversary celebration for the radio station. Yes, the radio station is more than 50 years old, and it hasn't always been WSRU-FM. It's been WRSK, it's been WRCK, it's been WNFT, and a lot of these members came back. And we realized when all these members came back to Slippery Rock for this reunion that there were a lot of members and a lot of alumni and past undergrads who went to Slippery Rock who have achieved amazing careers for themselves. So a light bulb went off in our head. And 3 years ago, we started what was known then as the Radio Hall of Fame. We obviously expanded it since then, but we found people, for instance, I'll throw a name out there. In our inaugural class was a guy named Mark Rez, who is probably the #1 radio personality in country music on radio right now. And he went to Slippery Rock. He is so well known in his field and so established and so successful, he even won the Slippery Rock University Distinguished Alumni Award last year. So we thought, where there's got to be a Raz, there's got to be a lot more. After 2 years, we realized, well, look, people who graduate, even who worked at the radio station, don't just work in radio. They work in newspapers, they work in radio sales, they work in public relations, they work in all forms of media. Thus, we changed the name to Slippery Rock University Media Hall of Fame. And we had some great nominees this year. And this year we have 5 outstanding inductees who all have established amazing careers for themselves. All went to Slippery Rock, and all, we're very proud to say, are great alumni from this university. And we're going to honor them this year. So we had some great nominees for the 2018 Media Hall of Fame. There was Tim McCoy, Linda Henderson, Greg McAtee, Matt Flieger, Steve Simons, George McDowell, Lois Bowers, Jim Meyer, Bill McCain, Suzanne LaFranchi Principato, Julianne Stoner, Vicki Hoover, Mark Schoss, and Liz Herbert Archibald. So tonight's the night. After 5,700 votes, and counting all those votes, it's time to announce the Slippery Rock University Media Hall of Fame inductees. And while I'd love to tell you, I'm sworn to secrecy. That goes to Morgan and Haley. Take it over, guys.
Thanks, Jim. We're excited to announce this year's Media Hall of Fame inductees. But before we do, there were several awards announced before the voting process began. There are 2 recipients of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. The first recipient is Dr. Robert Leffingwell. Dr. Robert Leffingwell taught at SRU for 17 years in the school's communication department, serving at one point as the advisor of the campus radio station. Leffingwell also worked as an announcer for newscaster at the radio station WPIC in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. When he wasn't teaching or broadcasting, Leffingwell also wrote movie reviews for almost 20 years as a real critic for the Allied News in Grove City, Pennsylvania. We are proud to honor Dr. Bob Leffingwell's memory with this award at the Media Hall of Fame.
The second Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Bob Hitchcock. After graduating from Slippery Rock in 1985, he was off and running in the TV at the NBC affiliate in Rochester, New York as a videographer. That job then carried him into his next role as the assistant news director at KPHO in Phoenix. Bob would then become the director of operations for Ivanhoe Broadcast News in Winter Park, Florida, where he led all aspects of operations for the National News Syndication Service. Today you can find Bob in charge of all the content you see coming from the Walt Disney Company as the former content producer, public relations manager, and current editorial content director. Congratulations, Bob.
The 2018 Jim Aronson Founders Award is awarded to Janet Waldron Kuhn. Janet was the program director at the original WSRU-FM, then operated by the communication department. It is her tireless efforts to assist in the annual efforts of the SRU Media Hall of Fame that has earned her praise from her fellow alumni. From making sure all members of the Hall of Fame committee are in the loop on the decision-making process to hosting the Hall of Fame ceremonies in 2016, Janet has dedicated herself to keeping the legacy and remembering and honoring of Slippery Rock's most successful media alumni vibrant and ongoing. The Media Hall of Fame would be lost without her continuing hard work, and thus we are proud to honor her with this year's Jim Aronson Founders Award. Congratulations, Janet.
The Mike McHugh Undergrad Award for Excellence this year goes to Brooke Henderson. As a senior integrating marketing communications major, Brooke has been a member of PRSSA Rock Productions. As a junior, she was selected as Rock Productions Senior Video and Web Design Specialist. She is also a student specialist for SRU's Technology Learning Center, a historian for Lambda Pi Eta National Honor Society, a graduate of SRU's first-year Leader Scholar program, and she had an internship with UPMC Patient Experience and Communication Office, where she developed print and digital materials for UPMC patients and visitors, managed their publication productions, and enforced UPMC's branding through the division. Congratulations, Brooke.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. We are honored to present you with the 2018 SRU Media Hall of Fame inductees. The first 2018 inductee into the SRU Media Hall of Fame is Lois Bowers. Lois has experience as a reporter, editor, managing editor, senior editor, and editor-in-chief at the many places that have been lucky to have her working for them. Back in her days as a student, Lois, a communication major focusing on journalism and public relations, spent 5 semesters on the staff of the Rocket, progressing from copy editor to news editor to editor-in-chief. After leaving SRU, Lois obtained a Master of Arts degree in journalism and mass communication from Kent State University in 1998. Congratulations, Lois.
The second inductee into the Hall of Fame this year is Steve Simmons. In the late 90s, while at SRU, Steve worked at WRSK-FM. After graduation, Steve interned for the Greater Media's 102.9 WMGK in his hometown of Philadelphia. Steve learned radio programming from WMGK program director Dan Michaels and SRU Media Hall of Famer Christy Banks. Now working for WMMR in Philadelphia, Steve has generated more than $34 million in the last 2 years in radio ad sales and has won the Greater Media's version of Salesperson of the Year award for both 2016 and 2017. Congratulations, Steve.
The third inductee into the Media Hall of Fame is Mark Schoss. High school sports were his passion. Mark followed the careers of local high school athletes into college and beyond. After his time at Slippery Rock, Mark began his broadcasting career at WKST in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, where he would build his career and become a Newcastle broadcasting legend. From 1982 through 2017, Mark covered all of WPIAL and PIAA championship games as either a writer or broadcaster. Mark was rare in that he excelled as both a play-by-play broadcaster and a color commentator. Tragically, Mark lost his life in 2017. We're proud to honor Mark's memory with this award at the Media Hall of Fame.
The fourth person being inducted into the Media Hall of Fame is George McDowell. George graduated from Slippery Rock University in 1982 with a Bachelor of Arts in Communications. While at Slippery Rock, George worked part-time at a local radio stations that included WWIZ and WPIC in Sharon and WEDA-FM in Grove City, as well as working at the campus radio station WRCK. For over 33 years, George has been known as the voice of Slippery Rock University. You can hear him on the campus voicemail system, on the PA system at university football and basketball games, and he is the announcer and one of the official readers of graduate names at commencement. George still maintains a hand in broadcasting and announcing, doing freelance production work for local stations, including the Butler radio station and PIAA District 10 football, baseball, and basketball playoff games. Congratulations, George.
And last but not least, the final person being inducted into this year's Media Hall of Fame is Greg McCarty. Greg came to Slippery Rock in 1975 as a freshman special ed major. He joined the staff at WNFT shortly after doing that, doing regular air shifts as well as sharing a Sunday morning show. The experience he had there caused him to change his major to communication. After completing classes and working on and off with the station, Greg did an internship in the Pittsburgh area with WPLW. He's currently the morning traffic reporter for the stations of Intercom Pittsburgh, KDK AM, KDK FM, WPSY, and WBZZ. Congratulations, Greg.
And that concludes the announcement for the Slippery Rock University Media Hall of Fame Class of 2018. The ceremony to honor these individuals will be on October 12, 2018 at 6 p.m. during SRU's homecoming weekend.
In addition to the ceremony, there will also be a Media Hall of Fame Symposium on October 12th at noon and the Hall of Fame Homecoming Parade Float at 10 a.m. on October 13th. Congratulations to all of the inductees. We'll see you in the fall.